Malawi Today.
Tinayamba nkhani ya Mutharika sanapezeke ku launch komanso panjamba anali mkalimoto.
Fitness ya atsogoleri, it's an issue. Nani naso kale pa. It's an, and I want him to understand. Kuti asatseke pakamwa anthu chifona kuti ali ni platform uyona kuzokalira nkula umatani ndiye kuti ife tisanene. He wants to be president of this country. Therefore, he must be subjected to scrutiny. And his major weakness, among the many weaknesses, is that he is not fit. What happened on Saturday? Because he's not fit. He's old. In the morning, he couldn't go to Mount Sochi to launch the manifesto because he was still resting. And nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't do that. You let him or her sleep, rest. Akazuka 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, mwapasati kulia, asamba, mwapasati kulia, akarapa konde, agona pa kuta, tumatiani korogona, basati zazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazazaz ndinama khali agogo simazutsama mauti azikagwira chito azikapanga lonje manifesto kapena azipita kumunda kapena azipita ku office kapena azipita kuti kulikonse sizimatheka. So that's why he didn't go. He's not fit. Later on anabwera pa nsonkhano chimodzimodzi zorona kuti it was a security issue ndi anabwereraje if it was a security issue.
Zina langa ndine George Kasagula ndipo ndine Director General wa Malawi Broadcasting Corporation. Ndabwera pano kudzafuna kupepesa President adziko lino Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika pa zonse zimene ndimalankhula nthawi ya kampeni yowa nena yowo. Ndifuna ndapepese pamodzi ndi First Lady ndi onse amene ali nawo amakhala nawo ku chipani cha DPP ndi onse ndifuna ndapepese kuchokera pansi pa mtima wanga. My name is George Kasagula and I'm Director General of Malawi Broadcasting Corporation. I've come on TV to apologize to the State President, Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika, for all the things that I said and kind things I said about him and about his candidature. Malawians have voted for him. Millions upon millions have voted for him. So he needs our respect and royalty. So that's why I've come on TV. Thank you very much to all viewers and the listeners. Sikomon Togosa.
Hello, welcome to our lunch edition of MBC News, and you are with me, Eveles Chungambe. Coming up this afternoon, African countries challenged to spearhead policies that protect the labor market in the region. Director General for Malawi Broadcasting Corporation, MBC George Kasagula, has issued a public apology for making disparaging remarks against President Mutharika. And in sports, the first group of Flames players and officials depart for Tunisia, where Malawi will face Sao Tome and Principe in their final FIFA World Cup qualifier. Thank you for joining us. Now the news in detail. President Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika has urged the newly appointed Chief Secretary to Government to lead a competent civil service for enhanced service delivery. President Mutharika made the call during the swearing-in of members of his partial cabinet as well as senior government officials. Charles Chindongo has more in this report, being read by Simon Boyce.
President Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika appointed Justin Saidi as the new Chief Secretary to Government to be deputized by Stuart Ligomeka, along with members of his partial cabinet. Speaking soon after the two senior government officials took oath of office in Blantyre, President Mutharika ordered the new office bearers to put the civil service in order with immediate effect.
Now for the Chief Secretary, let me urge you that I want you to lead a competent civil service, dedicated, and also a civil service that has integrity. If anyone is corrupt or incompetent, I will not hesitate to remove them from the service of the and that I mean. So I want your civil servants to help me in advancing what you have in our manifesto.
In his maiden interview, Chief Secretary to Government Justin Saidi shared his vision for his dream civil service. He pledges to flush out corruption, among other accusations that have compromised service delivery to Malawians.
Just want to promise Malawians that I will deliver beyond expectation. All what is needed is there must be unity amongst ourselves as civil servants. We have to work together. We have to uproot issues of corruption in the system and ensure that we deliver according to our mandate. Whether you are in education, you need to deliver issues of education. Whether you're in foreign affairs, you need to deliver. So I call upon all PSS within Malawi to ensure that they deliver on their mandate. If they deliver on their mandate, we will be able to do the best we can in this region of Africa. But also, most importantly, the government that has been ushered into power has its manifesto, and that manifesto has to be implemented fully. Once it is implemented fully, Malawi will never be the same.
President Mutharika is in the coming days expected to make appointments of the remaining cabinet and senior government official positions.
Director General for Malawi Broadcasting Corporation, Embassy, George Kasagula, has issued a public apology to President Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika for making disparaging remarks against President Mutharika. Kasagula made the disparaging remarks in one of Embassy's political programs known as Divente. Kasagula said he was deeply sorry for his remarks. He explains.
My name is George Kasagula, and I'm Director General of Malawi Broadcasting Corporation. I've come on TV to apologize to the State President, Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika, for all the things that I said, unkind things I said about him and about his candidature. Malawians have voted for him. Millions upon millions have voted for him. So he needs our respect and royalty. So that's why I've come on TV. Thank you very much to all viewers and the listeners. Sikomon Togosa.
African countries under the African Regional Labour Administration Centre, ARLAC, have been challenged to spearhead policies that protect the labour market in the region. Chief Secretary in the Office of the President and Cabinet, Justin Saidi, made the call during the closing ceremony for the 27th ARLAC Committee of Senior Officials meeting in Lilongwe. Austin Fugola reports.
Saidi points out that the region faces a number of labor challenges such as informal jobs, unemployment rate among the youth, social inequalities and child labor, among others. He says there is need to provide solutions that will address these challenges to ensure the labor market is protected.
Well, all the countries, they depend on labor for production and whatever. But also, in the region, you see that not many are employed. And even those that are employed, maybe at their workplace, they are ill-treated in different ways. So it is better that we put up policies that will help the countries within the region to move forward.
Executive Director for Araki, Letseritsitso Oketsi, says the organization has been instrumental in building and strengthening the capacity of policymakers and policy enforcers in the labor administration since 1975.
ARLAC is there, and it's a very dynamic and transformative organization which is there to assist member countries in ensuring that they achieve whatever it is in the administration of labor administration.
Meanwhile, Malawi has assumed chairmanship for the Committee of Senior Officials of the ARLAC, which was previously held by Sierra Leone. Principal Secretary for Labor is now its chairperson for the period of 1 year. Austin Fukula, MBC News, Lilongwe.
Malawi Health Equity Network has urged government, development partners and communities to strengthen eye health systems in Malawi. The call comes as Malawi joined the rest of the world in commemorating World Sight Day 2025 on Thursday, 9 October with the theme Love Your Eyes. Smart Chaliga with the details.
As Malawi joins the rest of the world in commemorating World Sight Day 2025 on 9th of October, which is themed Love Your Eyes, MEHIN Executive Director George Jobe says the commemoration serves as a timely reminder of the importance of making eyes care accessible, available and affordable for everyone and everywhere. He points out that shortage of trained professionals, inadequate equipment and low public awareness about preventable eye conditions have left many people vulnerable to avoidable vision loss. Jobe also expressed concern that many Malawians seek medical attention only after their sight has deteriorated, making treatment difficult.
MEHIN calls on government, partners and communities to strengthen eye health systems through public awareness campaigns on the importance of regular eye checkups, expansion of primary eye care services at health centers and the community level, especially in rural areas, so that everyone can access the services, training and the recruitment, deployment of additional eye care professions.
World Sight Day is observed annually on 9th of October, aiming to raise global awareness about the importance of eye health and preventing vision impairment. Smart Charika, MBC News, Lilongwe.
The Mental Health Users and Carers Association, MEHUCA, has urged stakeholders to unite in addressing mental health challenges in the country. In an interview with Embassy ahead of World Mental Health Day, observed annually on October 10, MEHUCA's Executive Director, Memory Bismarck, highlighted persistent issues affecting mental health in the country. Bismarck has emphasized the need for collaborative efforts to tackle the challenges effectively. Bismarck speaks to our reporter, George Panda.
Mental health, it's an issue that affects every country. That's why it's called World Mental Health Day. So even here as Malawi, we are affected by different mental health conditions in various ways. So it's really a great day for us as an organization, as MEHUCA, as we are advocates for persons with lived experiences of mental health condition. We have activities at the Zomba Mental Health Hospital, and as MEHUCA we have also planned for a community activity that's going to take place next week on the 14th in Chiladzu. We felt that we need to be able to celebrate together with those in the community. It's access to service, mental health in catastrophes and emergencies.
You're watching MBC News and you are with me, Evelis Chingambe. A reminder of the top stories. African countries challenged to spearhead policies that protect the labor market in the region. Director General for Malawi Broadcasting Corporation, MBC, George Kasakula, has issued a public apology to President Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika for making disparaging remarks against President Mutharika. And in sports, the first group of Flames players and officials depart for Tunisia, where Malawi will face Sao Tome and Principe in the final FIFA World Cup qualifier. Welcome back. The Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education says it is moving towards integrating climate change adaptation and environmental sustainability into national education system. Principal Secretary in the Ministry, Rachel Chimbwete Piri, made the remarks in Lilongwe during a validation workshop on the Climate Smart Education Systems Initiative. Details with Olive Piri.
As various sectors and communities in the country continue facing climate change effects, the education sector has not been spared. According to education authorities in the country, reviewing the curriculum will help in addressing these effects. Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, Rachel Chimbwete Piri, said the workshop is a significant step towards integrating climate change adaptation and environmental sustainability into national education system. She emphasized that Malawi is investing in a sustainable and resilient future by ensuring subjects are reviewed and children and youths are equipped with knowledge and skills necessary to respond to climate change in schools.
Learners have to know what is happening they have to know how to respond to that. They have to know also in terms of, as an individual, how can they assist where possible, but also looking at the effects to say, as a country, as an individual, how best can we respond to such.
Acting Deputy Executive Secretary for UNESCO, David Mulela, said the country should take advantage of the global initiative and review the curriculum.
There are things that are happening regularly, and they are disturbing people's lives. Even the education is affected. So it is important that Malawi should address this and should take advantage of this global initiative.
The validation workshop brought together officials from the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Natural Resources and Climate Change, development partners and other organizations. Once launched, the Climate Smart Education Systems Initiative will be the first of its kind in Malawi. Olive Piri, MBC News, Lilongwe.
Newly elected independent councillor for Mijiro Ward in Blantyre, Yolanda Longwe has bemoaned stereotypes and funding wars women aspirants endured during the 16 September general election. For instance, Longwe told MBC that some sections of society, especially men, are still not comfortable seeing women occupying public offices. Weighing in on the issue, a 50-50 campaigner, Malango Maganga, called for deliberate policies that favor women to take up leadership positions.
Indeed, we have seen the disappointing results in terms of number of women who have made it into the elected positions, be it members of parliament or council members. I would say partly it's due to lack of resources for civil society organizations. We have not done enough. We do not have resources to build the capacity for aspiring women. Apart from that, we might need to put in place deliberate measures within political parties to have adequate representation of women in different constituencies. You will agree with me that it has been observed that political parties do some shortcuts in coming up with the people to represent parties in various constituencies.
Tobacco farmers who sold their tobacco through the Nyasa company has not yet received their money for almost 2 months after the sale. Speaking to Embassy, Happy Manza, one of the farmers from Zemba, says they are failing to settle bills and prepare for the next growing season due to non-payment. Alex Mangosi has compiled this report being read by Chisomo Manda.
According to the sales sheets which MBC has seen, some tobacco farmers sold their tobacco on 10 August 2025, but up to now, the company that bought the leaf, Nyasa Company, has not yet paid them. Hape Mwanza is one of the affected farmers from Zimba.
I sold my tobacco at Mzuzu Auction Floors on the 21st of August 2025 under Nyasa Tobacco Buying Company. But since then, up to now, I've not been paid. And it's not only me, there are some other people who sold their tobacco on the 14th of August. But up to now, they're also not been paid. And it's not only in Mzuzu, because we have got some other friends at Chinghoma and Lilongwe. The story is the same.
According to Hape Mwanza, the situation has made life difficult for them.
You can imagine, from 14th August up to now, we are not being paid. And we are meeting a lot of challenges. So we are stranded. We have got kids to take care of. We have got school fees. And farming is now. We need to get prepared now. But we don't have anything. And we don't have food for our farmers. Nazare now has been started already, but they're doing nothing.
Efforts to talk to Edward Kamanga, who is Nyasa Company representative in the north, proved futile as his phone went unanswered after several attempts. According to regulations, tobacco farmers are expected to receive their money within 48 hours after their tobacco sales.
The Competition and Fair Trading Commission, CFTC, has fined wrap processors and Topmax companies 1% of their gross annual turnover each for excessive and exploitative pricing of their fertilizer and metal products, respectively. Chief Executive Officer for CFTC, Lloyd Nkoma, says the determination follows the 74th sitting of the Commission, which found the companies in the wrong for violating Section 51Q and G of the CFTC Act. Nkoma says the fines act as a deterrent to other companies which may also be involved in violation of the CFTC Act. The Commission has also disclosed that it has approved a transaction of the merger and acquisition of ShopRite by Shopwise, and soon the country will start seeing changes in the branding of the retail shop.
They were found to be pricing excessively and exorbitantly, and upon that finding, the Commission also made 2 orders for them to pay a penalty of the equivalent of 1% of their gross turnover, and also to pay another 1% equivalent of their turnover associated with the finding of unconscionable conduct. Issues of excessive pricing are not that easy to deal with because they involve a lot of cost accounting, which is complex. The starting point is that you need to refer to the company itself to ask them, why are you pricing like this? And obviously they will give you a lot of justifications with all sorts of cost tabulations. And for you as a commission, your job is also to do your own tabulation and counter that, which is not a simple kind of exercise to undertake. But yeah, that's why we are there. We are trained for that, and we endeavor to do that.
In arts and entertainment news, preparations for UMP Festival, which will take place at Cape Maclear in Mangochi from 21st to 27th October, are at an advanced stage. Speaking to MBC, UMP Festival Director Watibasa Manganda says stages are being mounted at the 2 sites where the 7th-day event will take place, and next week the final lineup of the acts will be announced.
Preparations are going on so well. We are remaining with 2 weeks. We've done the work. The whole year we've been preparing ourselves. All the categories that we have going on. We have obviously the fashion, we've got the philanthropy, we've got the awards, we've got sports, and so many other things. So yes, we have tackled all the areas, all the departments of the UMP Festival.
We've noted that this year the event will take place for 7 days. Others are asking, why 7 days? What will people be doing during these 7 days?
Okay, so the idea of actually coming with the 7 days is out of experience because of what we had last year. Last year we had the 3 days, but we were not able to capture everything that I would say we signed up for, to say these are the categories that we're going to involve ourselves with. So like I mentioned, all of them, we were not able to capture everything. So now, being an international festival, we have also teamed up with other festivals from outside, and we've got people coming from outside the country, and we actually wanted to accommodate everybody, and that is why we have the 7 days to do everything. Even the awards ceremony, the famous UMP Awards, they will take place at the festival. So there's a date that we'll have the red carpet event, which will focus mainly on the UMP Awards.
Moving on to sports, the first group of Flames players and officials have left the country for Tunisia, where Malawi will face Sao Tome and Principe in their final FIFA World Cup qualifier. The second group is scheduled to depart this afternoon, with the entire squad expected to arrive in Tunis on Saturday. The match will be played on Monday next week. The Flames are on position 4 in Group H with 13 points, while Sao Tome are bottom of the table with no point from 8 games. Malawi beat Sao Tome by 3-1 in their first leg meeting played last year in Lilongwe. The Flames are out of contention because Tunisia has already qualified from the group. Still in sports, companies have been urged to support Golf Union of Malawi in its quest of developing the sport in the country. Kasasa Golf Club coach Brega Kayingwe said this after identifying some challenges that junior golfers face since the introduction of junior golf development centers in the country. Rodoviko Nyirenda has more.
Golf Union of Malawi works to improve the game of golf and reach out to a wider population in the country. The initiative has led Union to introduce junior golf development centers in Brantia, Lilongwe, Muzuzu, Dwangwa, just to mention but a few. Coach for Kasasa Golf Club, Brega Kayingwe, says the development is expected to take the sport to another height. He then calls on the corporate world to join hands with Golf Union of Malawi to address some of the challenges the junior golfers face.
Go in the village, like in primary schools, so we take 3-4 kids there, we train them. That's the challenge. They don't have even a golf set, even the golf shoes, so it's like there's a challenge.
Miraj Muhammad, coach for Sunbelt Muzuzu Golf Club, said the training of junior golfers at the center is underway and the future for the young golfers looks bright.
Trying by all means to do the same developments, especially on the youth. We've approached all schools within Muzuzu, both private and the local schools, of which our most idea is to go with sports and education.
The winner for the recent Golf Union of Malawi first competition that saw 72 golfers participated at Limbe Country Club, Hassan Fazili, said the secret of being a good golf player is through frequent training.
Of course, I'm good in putting and long shots, so it's easy to me to win the games.
Golf began in Malawi with the founding of Brantia Sports Club in 1896 by British settlers. Then in 1929 Tioro Golf Club was built, and then Lilongwe Golf Club in 1930. Rodoviko Nyirenda, MBC Sport, Muzuzu.
And that's it from our newsroom this afternoon. A reminder of our top stories before we leave. African countries challenged to spearhead policies that protect the labor market in the region. Director General for Malawi Broadcasting Corporation, Embassy, George Kasagula, has issued a public apology to President Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika for making disparaging remarks against President Mutharika. And in sports, the first group of Flames players and officials depart for Tunisia, where Malawi will face Sao Tome and Principe in the final FIFA World Cup qualifier. You were with me, Evelis Chingambe. Thanks for watching and good afternoon.